All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fast and Furious is this tournament. We did the speed run of a tournament yesterday. I have a feeling we'll be doing that today as well. So we have Nacho in the green. This is a best of 5 engagement, and this is winners bracket 4.1. So Nacho's got an Ismail, a Mutsu, Bismarck. I don't like that they're taking Lutjans and not the boosted skills. We've talked about that before. A Missouri and a Kavor. Tell us about the other lineup, Puddin'.
Oh, wow. It's almost
Oh, hey.
identical, though.
It is. Funny
Except
that.
for the Bismarck understands Lucian has special skills and put points into that.
Yeah, that's
The
Sappy JJ.
Ishmaels, the Kavor, a Missouri, and the Matsu. Like everybody's concealment except for the Bismarck.
Yeah, Bismarck doesn't need concealment. And as you said, nobody needs concealment, of course, but
Yeah. I mean,
um
like, what does the Bismarck need concealment for? There is no Arc Royal to screw it over.
right.
There's also
Yeah,
no
history
Prince
jokes.
Eugene to go, hey, we'll see you back at port. Good luck.
Now, we saw RWI play yesterday, and we saw Sappy JJ in the Bismarck do stupid things. Remember the battle on New Dawn? He just walked into the middle and secondaries blazing, and they just took forever to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the power of Lutyen. So, the reason why we're talking about the difference in Bismarck build here, let's take a look here at Nacho's Bismarck. So, Nacho's Bismarck is following a kind of a traditional, if you just go straight down the line. Bismarck has 104 millimeter secondary guns at 105, as well as 150s. Now, the 150 millimeter guns, due to 1/4 HE pen rule, will pen 32 millimeters of armor. But for the 105s, you need IFHE to penetrate 32, which is actually a really important number in this particular tournament, especially because of all the low tier ships. So you see a lot of players that go straight down the line, but they neglect the buffed survive. Sorry, I'm waking up still. The preventative maintenance skill. And that keeps the secondaries and everything else alive better. Speaking of alive better, that Mutsu might need to try to think about living.
Well, I mean, he could think about it, but will
Mhm.
he really put a lot of thought into it?
Right. So anyway, and Nacho's Bismarck goes for close quarters, so he can get his main batteries up sooner. I kind of like that. So we'll have to see how the two builds play out, but it's not just the builds, it's also the players and the other ships in the game. And this poor Mutsu is, yeah. Ouch.
Well, let's see.
Oh, speaking of ouch, Ismail, I backed off just in time to see the Missouri punch those 16-inch shells right through the face of the Ishmael.
Oh no, the Bismarck went dark.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. That allows Sappy to go into the A-cap and possibly get the A-cap. Here comes some shells. Oh, just either a little bit too late or they missed. Either way, that's a huge pickup for RWI.
Well, I think they're going to try to pick off this Ishmael because the Mitsu is wisely just using island cover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, the Missouri's radaring.
Yeah, at this point, the Mutsu, here's the next heal. Are you going to use it? There you go. Bit late on that, favoring getting the shot off over survivability, and you can see the error in that player's ways. Always, always, always live first, damage second.
What do you do with the Bismarck? Ram the Missouri, shoot the Ishmael?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. If I'm Sappy, that's exactly what I'm looking to do right now. Because quite frankly, if he can do that, that pretty much all but secures the game for RWI. And Nacho Cheese knows that this is coming.
I think everybody knows it's coming.
And there's the kill. And there's the hero play. 2-for-1 trade, ladies and gentlemen. If you ask me, that might be a good clip moment. Remember, there is a clips contest, so if there's anything really cool that you see, make sure to clip it, share it on the Clash of the Classes Discord, and you can win. I believe it's 3 Distant Voyages containers for your trouble.
That sounds like too much work.
I mean, you know, if you want 3 Distant Voyages containers, I don't think it's that much work.
That's a lot of work.
3 permanent camouflages. That's pretty sexy. Never mind that it'll probably be on tier 3 ships, but you know.
Just gonna say, can we make camos great again?
Well, be nice. It would be nice.
Well, I think the Caveira is gonna get focused down relatively quickly.
Gee, what makes you think that?
Middle of the map and nothing else to shoot.
Well, there's a full health Bismarck at the top of the map that clearly is helping his team.
Well, it did cap C, so it is a capping Bismarck.
Capping Bismarck. Well, both Bismarcks capped in this game. It's kind of fun to think about.
But one's alive and one is dead.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
This is poor Caveira.
Yeah, War Gambler comes up, yeah.
A wee bit short?
What's the ultimate fail in craps? Is it Snake Eyes?
I think so. I don't know. I just know poker. Well, I wonder if everybody's going to shoot the Bismarck now.
I think that's going to happen.
Who's living the dream?
Mm-hmm. Look at them secondaries go.
I'm surprised the Missouri hasn't used radar. Just the flex.
I mean, yeah, you kind of might as well.
There's the Hydro that you don't need.
Remember once upon a time you were charged for the consumables that you used?
I miss the days of premium consumables.
Premium consumables when you got an extra charge and it reloaded quicker. Oh.
Apparently, according Wargaming, that was unfair advantage for the rich players.
Well, there were 2 big problems with it. One is that, and 2, the fact that by default, if I remember right, it was replenished by doubloons. Yeah, so people were really upset about that because, you know, you're using premium currency to replenish something you can buy with credits. And if players didn't know that, oof, that was punishing. Speaking of punishing, a very punishing defeat for Nacho as RWI takes game 1. See what I did there?
Yeah, that was a good transition.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to game 2. Remember, this is a best of 5. I'm going to get a commercial break going just to get it cleared out. And there's something else. I need to do something else real quick. I'm going to head back to port for a second. In an effort to have as smooth of a frame rate for you guys as possible, I've set my video graphics settings down a little bit. And I noticed secondary small objects were not animated. We want small objects animated. So let me find that. There we go. Apply. Want to be able to watch those secondary turrets turn, because that matters so much in this game.
I mean, the only thing that matters more is dolphins.
Dolphins with lasers. Yes. Dolphins with lasers. Alrighty then.
Do you know how much money Wargaming would make if they put that in the game as a premium skin?
What? Dolphins with lasers?
Yeah.
It can happen.
And I'm not saying like charge, like to make it $5. Like who would not buy that?
Mm-hmm. DSNF is up a game over TSIOF. Remember, these are best of threes in the losers bracket. YOLO Kraken 2 is up over Larch. We saw Larch 3-0 unskill yesterday, or 2-0. And Merc 2 is defeated by SFSO. Remember, SFSO and DSNF are both returning champions. I have a prediction that these two are going to face each other in the losers bracket final, or losers bracket round 7. But the interesting thing is, only one of them, should that happen, continue on to the losers bracket final against whoever loses the winners bracket final. So only one of these teams has a chance to be champion again, which is very interesting, if you ask me. All right, how are we doing here with Nacho Man? That's right. Ultimate fail in craps is when the dice goes off the table. Ah, okay, got it. You feel the quality of play in Clash 8 was higher than in this tournament? I wonder IWAX. Congratulations, my Adathi, for the win, by the way. I wonder if the thing about that is more the ship comps and what players are forced to play with now, because you see players that are forced to play with ships that maybe don't have the best armor schemes, aren't the easiest quote unquote to play. Like, for example, Lenin. We talked so much before about like why people shouldn't play Lenin because they just don't understand it. But at the same time, Lenin is very easy to understand. You point the bow at the enemy and you just watch all the shells bounce. You can't do that in a West Virginia 41. Ouija, if you want to resub, you're welcome to do so. It would mean a lot, but please don't feel like you have to. I do what I can to get commercials away from you guys during the game itself. Which reminds me, we have 18 minutes until the next one, but that's fine because this game is 10 minutes or less. That just started. Puddin', you're not excited?
Excited about what?
Okay. I was waiting for your characters like, ah. All right, here we go. Polar is the next map, ladies and gentlemen. RWI up one game over NACHO. And they've got a Missouri, a Bismarck, Havor, a Mutsu, and an Ismail. Same lineup. However, was it them? I think it was them that had a player change out or two.
I don't know.
General quarters.
All right, well, tell us about Team Red.
We have a Mutsu, we have the Bismarck, who says screw you to Luchins, the Kavor, the Ismail, and the Missouri.
So, same lineup.
Yeah, nothing's really changed. I'll get rid of build viewer.
We talked before about this too. Nacho's got an interesting choice with the Missouri. He's running the consumables mod instead of concealment mod. We talked about how concealment's not so important, so buffing consumables by 10 seconds, that's kind of sexy, huh?
Well, you could get that heal or that DCP that you need back a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Now, IMAX, it is true that a team in the losers bracket can ultimately win the tournament. However, the winner from the winners bracket does get a 1-game advantage over that losing team, or the losers bracket team, should that, when that happens. So, let me put it this way. I like that better than the losers bracket winner has the same, has basically the same, it has no disadvantage, let's put it that way, against the winner, right? We've seen some tournaments like that where both of them start equal. And that's just not fair. You win the winner's bracket, you deserve at least some form of advantage in the grand final. Hey, look at these shells. Oh. That could have been pain for the Ismail.
Well, we got Missouri and Ishmael versus Missouri and Bismarck.
Well, the big problem is, yeah, because of the Bismarck Sappy, I would say RWI has the advantage in this particular engagement. Um, I like that Nacho Cheese is instead looking for cross shots with his Missouri. And I do like Nacho's Bismarck just pushing through the B cap because it's a Kavor and an Ismail over there. So, what is he afraid of?
Wales.
Whales.
I'm going to go
with
out on a limb
lasers.
and say Wales.
So this could work out in Nacho's favor if they can keep RWI bottled up. But Sappy JJ and the Bismarck says, "Nope, I'm just going to come forth and play with my secondaries."
I mean, there's really nothing to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Just use the island to protect you from the Missouri while you punish the lower tier ships.
Yep. And you can see how he's doing exactly that. He's using the island to block shots from the Missouri, which is his biggest threat, and allowing himself to pull forward and start secondarying War Gambling's Kavor, and even Nacho's Bismarck on the other side of the map. Ooh, primaries too. Big hit there from Devil Worshippers Missouri.
Yeah, but Devil Worshippers Missouri's not looking too hot, really.
No. What's
He's
been
going to
hitting
have to
him?
go forward and kind of get some HP back before he re-engages this Bismarck.
Now, if I'm this Mutsu, I wouldn't be shooting here, right? Like, stay behind the island, stay dark, get the cap, and then shoot your guns and try to kill something. Instead, he's hitting the Mutsu, but being reset in the process. And Nacho's Bismarck is not looking that good. He's dark and wisely not shooting.
Still gets hit, though.
He still gets hit, yep. Take a look on the other theater of action. Nacho's Missouri seems to be winning this trade because of the fact that everybody's focusing the Missouri on the side of RWI. 20,000 hit points left on that Missouri. But a heal's coming up.
Well, I mean, they are doing a good job of focus firing.
Mm-hmm.
I just would like to see Nacho's Missouri just sling the HE, get them on fire.
Yep. I kind of demonstrated that a bit yesterday. Bismarck finally goes down. I demonstrated that yesterday when I was playing Battleship and shooting HE a lot, to the point where my teammates in ranked were saying, "Sath, shoot HE!" Or, sorry, shoot AP. And it didn't matter.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And you still lost?
No, we won that game pretty handily.
Uh,
Ooh, caught that one as the Mutsu that decided to park on the island dies. I don't get why you would park on the island broadside and then keep shooting so you get spotted.
definitely getting value out of the RWI is definitely getting value out of their Missouri.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look. This Missouri has done 40,000 damage total. 26,000 to the enemy Missouri and 14,000 to the Bismarck. Now, RWI's Missouri, by comparison, has done 81,000 damage. Double the damage.
But they have yet to convert that damage into a kill.
Well, Devil Worshipper has, yeah. I don't know if he's gotten... He doesn't have a kill, technically. The Bismarck and Ismail have the kills in this battle so far.
Maybe I got teams mixed up again.
It's very easy for that to happen when they're running the same lineup.
I mean, now we're in the exciting part of waiting for somebody to do something, and
yeah,
when is Nacho going to do it? Because there's 3 minutes left, and you need to start converting kills.
3 minutes to go in this battle.
Like, I think the Nacho's Missouri should have been making this push to move this Bismarck when you lost yours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Cavor just said, I don't need all my HP or my ship.
Our victory
Yeah.
is in sight.
Here, take this HP. That leaves the Missouri and the Ismail. Looks like the Ismail's gonna try for a ram.
I think the Bismarck is going to ram.
Which is even funnier if that happens. Nope.
Okay.
Ram denied.
Our victory is in sight.
Okay, well. That happened.
Well, we
Time to
have
see
one
an
chance for
execution.
it not to be an official wargaming blowout.
Yep, that's that Mutsu right in front. There you go. There you go.
Now, poor Slappy's too close to where his secondaries are just hitting the belt.
Yep. There's the horn of winning. And there's our triple death pick. As Sappy rubs his bow all over that Missouri. 2 up over Nacho.
It's best of 3?
Best of 5.
Oh. We have one more game to go, possibly 2. Highly unlikely 3.
That's right. That's right. So let's get another commercial break going because there's 8 minutes until the next one automatically runs from Twitch. As Putin likes to say, when you're sticking around here through commercial breaks, you are stealing money from Twitch and giving it to whatever streamer you're watching. So very much thank you for doing that. HMS is up 1 game over ZGRSG. DSNF defeats TSOF. They did it before. That was a rematch for a winner's bracket round 1. Although in this time, TSIOF did not win a battle. And as predicted, SFSO defeats Merc 2, also in a 2-0. And you can see here, I'm sure these two are eyeing each other carefully here. DCMA versus PWG is going right now. All the losers bracket games are happening as soon as possible. They just get in and get them done, which is cool. So as soon as YK2 and Larch finishes, for example, they'll get the SFSO game going with the winner of that one. And that should get us to losers bracket round 6 after this series here, this winners bracket series. I don't know if there's anything else to say right now. Classic classes, we were 2 under in the winner bracket final, 1 in the end, 3-2. Close fun final. Grand final, you won 4-0. Would have been more fun finishing with the Nailbiter winner bracket. Yeah, I understand that. But I think it's kind of cool that you can still get, you can still, you know, the losers is not out of the tournament just because they're in the losers bracket. To me, if you're gonna have a system where you're out of the tournament if you have the losers bracket and that's it, then why even have the losers bracket? Let's get another code out. So again, follow the channel, active in chat. You've got 10 minutes, well 8 now because of the 2-minute delay. If you're on Rumble, Kick, or YouTube, head on over to Twitch and make sure you type something in there, alright? Speaking of which, I see somebody from YouTube writing something, but then the message was retracted. So I don't know what that means, but hello. Let's see. Regular spawns this time. Let's go. It's the same lineup.
I'm shocked and appalled.
General quarters.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, so I might tab out real quick and ask Beer what's up with that. So if you want
With what?
to cover, I want to know, is this a thing with mirrored lineups or?
All right, well, for team Alpha, we have the Bismarck, Ishmael, Matsu, Missouri, Cavour. To nobody's surprise, the builds haven't changed at all. And for Team Bravo, we have the Ishmael, Matsu, Bismarck, Missouri, Cavour. Almost like I literally just said all those ship names, and their builds have not changed.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Ishmael going to, looks like Apples, with Missouri, Bismarck, Cavour heading towards Chocolate, and Mitsu possibly going to Bacon, with maybe the Bismarck to break off to go into there also. We have a Cavour for Team Alpha going to Chocolate, while the rest of the team is going Apples and Banana, or Bacon, however you want to look at it. So one team is fighting for the bottom half, the other team is fighting for the top half.
And that's typically the way this particular map goes. The north team typically goes towards the north side, and then the southern team goes the other way. So it turns into like this toilet bowl spiral. And Buki, hello, we're doing all right. Disco Inferno, welcome back. Wide Earp, good morning, and thank you very much for the birthday wishes for the wife. I will pass those on later.
Well, let's see who gets spotted and shot at. Bismarck spotted and gets shot at. I don't know if radar is actually coming into use here, but RWI's Missouri is definitely keeping the Matsu spotted with its radar.
Mm-hmm.
Matsu says, screw your radar, I'll just shoot and show you. Bismarck, Slappy could have been touched there, but was not.
Yeah, he got away with it. The shells fell a little bit behind him, which can happen at super long range. Now, Ismail's got to watch out for Missouri shells. Oh, yeah, that hurt.
Well, he
that
watched
also
them.
hurt.
Those clearly did not fall short.
Ismail is one of those battleships. She's very fun. She's got really strong side plate armor. The problem is that if you show too much broadside, you get punished easily for it, especially in this kind of a battle. You really can't afford to just sail broadside like that.
Well, Matsu's kind of getting punished, but not as badly as they would like. Ooh, Bismarck gets touched.
Yeah, Sappy did take a hit there. What was that from? Ismail. Interesting.
Nacho's Mutsu is playing very dangerous, showing a lot of broadside to two ships.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we finally have shots coming in on RWI's Mutsu from Bismarck, Missouri.
I'm watching all this hate coming into Doc Mile. It's Ismail. Nothing really doing there, although he's now within secondary range of the Bismarck.
That's not hate, that's just extreme love with prejudice.
Sappy JJ continuing to take hits from the Ismail.
Well, I believe the Missouri just shot at the Ismail, and still could have been so much worse. Hey, did you know there are two Cavours in this match that haven't done much of anything?
Not surprised. Cavour is a difficult battleship to play in position in this one. So, you know, you've got the sap shells and you've got the AP. Ooh, Sappy's down to 8K now. Oh,
Sappy's
he's down to
to
nothing.
0K.
That's huge. Brilliant work from the Ismail here, going for the flank shots and just continuing to work down that Bismarck. So, like I was saying, so the problem with the Cavour is you have to get into the position to use it, and I think a lot of the players are just too afraid to get out there early and get themselves shot at and lose their entire ship. Nacho's Bismarck now, the focus fire target for RWI, looks like he is wisely backing off.
Well, the Matsu's coming under heavy fire. Calmly
Yep.
Ishmael's being shot at by the rear turrets of the Missouri. And I think they killed the Dolphin next to the ship.
Here's the Cavor now for RWI, finally getting on the flank and being able to use his guns. Not doing too much, though.
It might be a little too late. Ugh. As we can clearly see, I'm still tired.
You're always tired. I'm tired too, though.
Christ,
Wife
the
woke
sun
me up
is
at
out.
4 a.m. with a major coughing fit. So that was fun.
Did you light up a cigarette for her?
No. Devil Worshipper, why you show broadside?
Well, more important, why is the Matsu coming out?
To take the fire away from the Missouri?
Oh, you'll definitely, but sad thing is, it's going to cost you your ship.
Hey, you know what? Team Bravo will win if that happens. So, we like this, right?
Apparently we do.
Ooh. As the Mutsu gets clobbered by the Missouri. Still alive, though, for now.
I wonder if he's torping.
But we've got 3 very low health ships.
Oh, look, there's torpedoes.
RWI.
I'm shocked. He went broadside and torpedoed and died.
Correct. Make that 2 low health ships. I dare say RWI is going to lose this and take us to a game 4.
Well, at least it's not an official wargaming blowout.
This is correct. Ishmael on Ishmael action. I think then Ishmael's going to win this fight, huh?
I'm pretty sure the Missouri's going to win it.
I was fixing to wait for that salvo to hit. And just like that, the lone Cavor, who's been chilling over by himself on the 9 line this whole game, is like, oh, crap.
Well, at least he's not hiding behind the islands anymore.
Anymore.
Of course, we all know Tier 5 is known as the speed tier.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that
Well,
wasn't
now we
that
have
much damage.
Cavor on Cavor action.
Let's watch him die.
I don't know. They have a minute to do it. With hits like that, they're going to need more than a minute.
Nacho cheese? There we go. I was wondering if he was going to get a shot off. And Zaramet was paying attention and dodged. See, that's why in the 4 slot, I mean, you can't do it in the Cavor, but in the 4 slot, the rudder mod is probably pretty useful in this tournament. Or propulsion, one of the two. Gotta be able to dodge those big AP shells. Speaking of which, it's gonna pay for trying to go broadside there for the Missouri. 1 minute to go
Dodge
now.
by eating them all. Oh, he's on fire. This is bad.
That's right. He's gonna block those shells with his body.
Oh,
And
are these the
that'll do
final?
He does not get a kill in return. All right.
Missouri did so much work and came in dead last. Wow.
All right, let's go back to the out of battle screen here. Let's get another commercial break going.
I wonder what
And-
lineup we're going to see.
So I asked about this, and I have something pulled up on my screen here. It says because of this, Day 2 protocol at the outset of gameplay on Day 2 of the playoffs, teams will follow a new protocol as follows. For each match, both teams will be presented with identical lists of 7 randomly selected lineups from the full list of predetermined lineups. Both teams will ban one of the lineups by messaging the moderator assigned to moderate that game. Teams may ban the same lineup. So you've got 7 possible lineups. Each team can choose to ban one of them. And teams are then presented with the reduced list of available lineups and may choose which lineup they would like to field for that match. Teams will be locked into that lineup with one opportunity anytime after the first game is completed to switch to any of the remaining unbanned lineups. If a team switches lineups mid-match, they will be locked into that lineup for the remainder of the match. I do remember hearing them saying something about they can switch once. So that kind of explains a little bit about the lineups. Obviously, teams look at the 5 choices or 5, 6 choices and say, okay, this is probably the best one to use, but...
Uh-oh, somebody needs a second.
Somebody needs a second. Kavor's chilling. Well, of course he's got the most damage because everybody's not paying attention to him. He's on the corner or on the side of the map, and they can't see him when he's shooting. So he's gonna get the most damages, right? All right. Looks like teams are readied up, so I think we're gonna see the game starting momentarily. Yep, here we go. Might as well speedrun the tournament, right?
Well, yes.
Yes. That's right, game 4, bring it on, Gaelic. That's right, here we go. Spawns reversed. Alrighty then. It's the same lineup. Maybe we need to
Did they
remind
change any of their
teams
skills?
that they can change lineups. I don't know if they change skills or not. I mean, they should be able to. But I haven't noticed any skill changes yet. Which again is interesting because you got to know that most likely somebody from one of these teams is like listening to the cast, right? I mean, that's just a normal thing. A lot of times people come in and say, "Hey, thanks for casting our game." Blah blah blah. You'd think they'd hear that kind of stuff.
Maybe. Well, I mean, lineups are identical. Nothing's really changed there. Now we just wait for somebody to get spotted and shot at.
Right. Yeah, as I'm talking to Beer about this, it does seem odd that teams aren't taking advantage of the ability to change a lineup. Because if you think about it, if nobody's ever changing lineups, so your enemy's going to have this lineup. Why not look at the other lineups available and say, hey, this one counters X, Y, and Z ship that they're going to take, right?
I think it's you're locked in that might scare some teams.
Yeah, they can't change once after that. Okay, that makes sense, because if you change once and then the enemy team sees that and says, okay, well, we're going to change lineups to counter the lineup that you are locked into now. Okay, that could make sense.
Ooh, Ishmael just took a big hit, looks like, from the Bismarck. I wonder if Slappy's just going to W in somewhere. Probably by A.
Probably, yeah. And remember, this is game 4. It's a do or die for Nacho. They have to win this game. And they're not going to do it if they lose their Ismail early. Although Sappy just gets whacked.
No. This is all part of Slappy's game plan of hold my crayons, I'm going in.
But I mean, if you're facing a potential defeat, like, to me, that's the time you make the change. You don't change it after the game 1. You change it after, game 2 if you're down 2 games right away, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, then you get like if there's a counter to what you just picked,
Yeah.
then you're just screwed.
But if it helps you get another game at least, is kind of where I'm going with it, right? Like, just at least try to get some extra games in instead of just saying, well, I guess we'll just play the same lineup and lose a third time. If you're falling down a mountain, buddy, might as well, you know, flap your arms and try to fly, right?
Wait a minute. What am I doing on a mountain?
I don't know.
Right.
Killing shadows.
Nah. You know how much work it takes to climb a mountain? I'd be at the base going, hold on, time out. I need a smoke break already. Ooh, Slappy goes down.
Yeah. Sappy JJ dies to the other Bismarck, which is huge. That could force us a game 5 here. It's up to Nacho to not waste this opportunity. As RWI's Ismail comes under secondary fire.
Ooh, that was a swing and a miss. Missouri's going to take on Missouri and Ishmael.
I like that Nacho grabs the C-cap with their Mutsu. He's in a good position. He's going to have to come out, though, and start getting himself shot at, because the rest of his team is doing just that.
Well,
And this
Missouri's now
Bismarck is,
broadside to the Bismarck. He's turning his guns for the Bismarck because they're both broadside.
I was going to say, and the Bismarck is broadside for the Missouri, which is, ooh, this is going to be problematic. Oh, very problematic for the Bismarck. Missouri gets hit in kind, but he's got to heal. Bismarck does not.
Yeah, but the other thing is, the
Ooh.
Missouri's dealing with 2 other ships also shooting him.
Yup. Yup. Huge kill for RWI, getting that Bismarck down and getting the ship parity again. Not over yet for RWI.
Missouri doing the wise thing, shooting the Ishmael on the border.
Nacho Cheese just had a whole salvo look really fun, but did absolutely nothing. I wonder if he's still shooting AP. I like this butt shot on the Mutsu. Didn't do much, though. Nacho Cheese is continuing to use AP at the start.
Well, I mean, if you know where to aim with the AP, you can still do damage to bowing targets.
Mm-hmm.
But as with any tournament, focus fire is usually what wins.
Yep.
Believe
and
it
I
or
think-
not, that also works in random battles.
Right, and ranked.
Yep, nobody plays ranked.
Oh. 2,000 hit points left for the Ismail on the border. This Mutsu in the middle needs to get killed next. Looks
I
like
think
that's
he's going to get
happen.
killed next. There's only like 5 other ships shooting him, so...
And just like that, we're going to go to a game 5, Puddin'.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to a game 5. I think this Kavor is going to take everybody out in 2 minutes.
Well, that's good, because that gives him a minute and a half to have a cigarette afterwards.
Exactly. Always got to factor in the smoke break.
That's right.
Well, that could have been bad on the poor Kavor, because I believe those were Missouri shots.
They were. It would be fun to be able to see how much damage compared to how many shells fired, all that kind of stuff. You know, the typical results screen detailed information. Be kind of fun. Kavor on Kavor action.
Well, they both didn't do anything.
Yep. And here comes the Mutsu. People were asking about why the Mutsu. Well, she's got Nagato guns, tier 7 Nagato guns at tier 6. Also, the funny torpedoes that reach out to 7 kilometer that force you to go 2 broadside to be able to use them.
Right.
Oh,
Just go with the simpler answer.
They
Why
connect.
the Mitsu? Because that's in the rules. It's part of this lineup. All right. Now it's time for Ishmael versus Missouri.
That's the first time we've seen Mutsu torpedoes connect all tournament.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. We've seen them try to use those torps. Hasn't worked. Can the Ismail kill another ship before going down himself? The answer is
no.
Negativo. Well, it is not an official wargaming blowout, so there's that. Who's going to get the honor of the kill?
Will it be the Ishmael?
Yes.
It is. The guy that lived too long.
On the border. All right, y'all. That means we're going to game 5. And hello, Corgan. Thanks for lurking. So, yeah, so I'm thinking the reason that the teams aren't doing this is because of the locked part of it. They're going to be forced to play that lineup for the rest of the match. But like I said, if you're down and out and you're about to be eliminated anyways, why not do something crazy and stupid and change things up? You know?
See, this is where I would change because oh no, I'm locked for this series. The series is over with after this game.
Exactly. So I might as well use a comp that will defeat or counter the comp I know the enemy team is going to most likely use. Get a commercial break going. And then if you win the game and go to a game 4, cool. You got a breath of air. If they choose to change comps to fight yours, whatever. You got an extra game. You got an extra chance to try something else. Now, we were given streamer sheets, and I've got no idea how to use it. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of leave it like this. But thanks for putting it together. And hello, SF. How are you doing? Playoffs. Let's take a look. We don't have any more information about that one down there. Larch defeats YK2 in a 2-1 competition. They will face off against SFSO now. Still waiting to see what happens with DCMA and PWG. I saw somebody saying there was something planned for PWG versus DSNF, but they have to defeat DCMA first. Alright, we asked if we're ready, so guess what? We go! These guys do not want to sit around. I can mark this down as 5 battles. Woo! I love 5-game series. Hey, look, Puddin', it's the same lineup.
Shocked and appalled.
Now, let me put it this way. If I'm RWI and I've been defeated 2 games in a row now, after winning 2 games in a row, I might want to change up the lineup. And especially knowing that I'm going into this map polar, I mean, maybe I don't want to take a Missouri. Maybe I want to take, a lineup that's offered that's got more secondary goodness or something, right?
General quarters.
Just putting that out there. But,
course,
same lineups.
What lineup was banned, though, too?
Yeah, I don't know that kind of information. Actually, what I might do is tab out and ask that question while this goes. So if you want to cover stuff, go for it.
Guys, I hope you're all standing up so you can sit down and be shocked. The lineups haven't changed. The builds haven't changed. I have a suspicion that Slappy's going to W in to ACAP somewhere and just let his Nurembergs go to town. Nacho's Musashi's the Musashi. Jesus, if that was a Musashi. Matsu is spotted first. Looks like. We don't see any shells of happiness coming in. Maybe they'll sling shells of anger any minute.
Mm.
Oh, Missouri's shooting Bismarck.
Team announcements channel?
Oop, everybody's shooting RWI's Matsu.
Okay, so they all have the same lineup choices.
Let's see, what do we got going on? We have Bismarck on Bismarck action until an island got in the way. Cover and Bismarck shooting the Matsu that's parked behind an island. I believe the Missouri is also shooting, and Ishmael. Definitely had some shells connect, but that could have been way worse.
Okay, so they have the same lineup for every team in round 4. I'm programming my little sheet in with that.
Natsu's Matsu is at half HP. Pretty sure he's going to be the focus fire. Ooh, Kavor just took a slap. Let's see.
All right. DCMA defeated PWG. Wow. Hello, Dallas.
Well, Slappy has now done his W movement and is going to try to do something. But he will probably be the focus of Nacho.
And yeah, IWAX, that's what we're trying to figure out right now. So I've got the list of all the lineups that are chosen, but I have no idea which ones were banned. I'm being told that it's in a thread, but I do not have access to that thread, so I can't tell you which lineups were banned. Nacho's Mutsu is, eesh. You might want to go dark. Okay, or you can just keep shooting guns. That's fine. See where his shells go to. Ah, the Bismarck. And the shells high-fived each other in mid-flight.
Oh, maybe they exchanged peanuts.
Maybe they did, as Mutsu in
Ooh.
C-cap is also extremely low. He took a big Missouri salvo.
He might take
And-
another one. And he
Now
does.
he's dead. Yeah. Gotta be careful. This map is so small, you can't afford to show broadside and be spotted. So if you want to go into the C-cap, you gotta do so quietly.
Well, both Bismarcks are about half HP. Nachos has got a little bit more HP.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just kind of sitting there staring at each other angrily.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
5 minutes halfway through the game.
Both Missouri's pop radar. I'm pretty sure that's they could possibly get the Bismarck spotted.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to play through most of a tournament and just now be seeing a Venn diagram drawn on the map, you know?
What? You're using big fancy words again.
The circles overlapping each other. You see that so much in COTS and every other tournament, Warships Classic, right? Because they're all tier 10s, and one radar cruiser radars the other radar cruiser, radars them back, and catches a destroyer out.
No.
Oh, Nacho's
Oof.
Bismarck is in trouble. Why is he pulling out in front of everybody to get dead? That
I
just
think
feels
he
bad.
went to touch the cap.
Well, he's going to touch the darkness now because he just died. That was a
I think
gift.
he went to. I think he went to block the cap and didn't slow down in time.
The thing is, cap doesn't really matter at this point, right? Even if they get the cap, you got the kill. What's more important is you get a second kill. You work your way to get a second kill. But, okay. That was just, a way in given to RWI, essentially. They have a avenue to victory now.
Well, I mean, you say that while the Kavor is capping chocolate.
Mm-hmm. War Gambler is going in chocolate, that is true. And you can see he's doing it sneakily, like I was mentioning with his Kavor. But, Nacho's Muchu is just saying, here, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me.
Oof. RWI's Kavor just took a big slap.
Yeah, and that got some resets too, didn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're
But they
talking about the one
definitely,
at A. Sorry.
yeah.
Well, that
But they
makes sense.
definitely
He's in
need
front of the
to
Missouri.
maybe get resets on this Missouri. But I do believe chocolate will get capped first, which means you will be taking the points first.
A got
Missouri just takes
reset.
a big hit. Not returned in kind.
Now, because of that cap, RWI is on the back foot now. Nacho is gaining some points.
I mean, more importantly, there's like 2 minutes left. And I don't know why RWI's Missouri is coming out to 2 battleships.
This feels a little odd and desperate at this point, but okay. I mean, you got 4 battleships all focusing down this one Ismail. If they can get this Ismail off the board, and then maybe ram the Missouri's... Oh, never mind. That ain't gonna happen no more.
Nope. So, I mean, you traded 2 battleships. Unfortunately, the trade I don't think worked out for you because Missouri's still alive.
Yep.
Who does the Missouri shoot? Ishmael, Kavor, or Bismarck?
Yes.
Okay.
Going for the Ismail. Probably a good choice. He's low health and stuff like that. But he's about to duck behind an island. And he's healing. So there goes that idea. Yeah. 30 seconds to go in the battle. Always a good idea to double check the clock in this game, in this tournament.
What, there's a clock?
I know there's a clock. Nacho.
Clocks.
Nacho's looking to win this unless Missouri dies. Even then, it might not be enough.
I don't know. Yeah, because they're taking points and they're taking pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Here's the
Missouri
clock.
will go down.
Desperation shells. Can they get the kill? Watch the score.
Nope.
They get the kill, but not in time. And even if they did get the kill... Oh, that might have been enough, actually. Wow, how close was that?
All because of a cap.
All because of a cap, that's right. So, Nacho reverse sweeping RWI. Wow. All right, so,